Hi guys, welcome to Brand X Reviews, another edition of BXR Mailbag. This one we've got the core, who doesn't often do the mailbag videos. I think it's like probably the second one we've done.
And shockingly we have a mailbag question from...
Who is it from? Paul Cage. What a surprise.
Oh!
Who knew? Who knew? This is quite a good one though, he posted this a while ago. I've been meaning to kind of save this. It's Marvel related, so...
Which is kind of pretty solidly in our wheelhouse at this point.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So this is what he's put anyway. Sorry to waffle. Can you delve a bit into detail about how the Marvel Cinematic Universe started? How Iron Man got off the ground? Was it spurred on by the success of other franchises such as Spider-Man, X-Men, etc.? Or was it one man's passion to get the universe going? Which leads me on to my next question. Do you think they had a planned universe, or was it just pot luck that Iron Man was a hit? Also, what was your personal experience with it all? How did you feel when Iron Man was announced, and did you have high hopes? I think the reason he's asking about Iron Man is because that was the first one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, that's kind of... in some ways that's three questions. So if you want to start with the... like, how did it all get started?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned, was it all one man's passion? I guess you could sort of say that. I mean, we had producer Kevin Feige, who all kind of, if you follow this, you'll know he's the guy that, you know, kind of...
I'm the non-name remembering motherfucker, and even I know the names. So.
Yeah, exactly. So he's the guy that kind of was in doing that job when all this came out. He produced a lot of stuff. He had a lot of work on things like X-Men and Spider-Man. Some of the kind of more rubbish ones. I think the 2003 Hulk as well, the one with Eric Banner. And he did say, I mean, we've seen him at, like, I think it was Comic Con 2006, so this is 2 years before Iron Man, when Iron Man was like the big announcement that they were doing. They did say, you know, we do hope if this film is successful that it will someday lead to an Avengers franchise. So obviously they had hopes of that. I don't think they had a lot of hope just based on some of the other crap. I mean, that was the year that X-Men 3 came out, for example. So
yeah, I mean, they had... I mean, basically during the 90s, the only real superhero you saw... I mean, we had Superman. But that was very much...
70s and 80s.
Well, also it was like, yeah, Superman's got all these powers, but I think it was only like really the later ones where he like fought other powered people. It was very much, oh, I'm like Superman and I'm like matching wits with like a normal person, like in the form of Lex Luthor. And then we had the Batman franchise, which was, again... Well, yeah, but also just from the premise of you haven't really got like lots of people with superpowers running around. It's mainly just Batman who's like a trained normal person. You didn't really have the big super film at that point.
So yeah, I mean that was the general superhero genre, and
it wasn't really until Spider-Man and then the X-Men that you kind of actually got to see something more comic booky, less.
It was not the success of it as well. I mean, whether or not they were good. I mean, Blade 2008 was really the first one that was technically a superhero film in a sense, and that was the first one that was very well received. That was a year after Batman and Robin, which was when the genre was killed.
Again, it was a very what I would class as a low-powered story. Because again, I mean, yeah, Blade's got vampire powers, but he's more martial arts and sword play and stuff like that.
Yeah, it wasn't
a strategic, like a not stereotypical.
Yeah, non-word. Remember?
Yes, that time.
But yeah, anyway, so that was that, and then I think that led to the X-Men film, which was again another one that wasn't like it. Even it was superheroes, it was men in costumes jumping off buildings, but it was more than that. And the second one in particular, which came out 3 years later, but it was that X-Men film. I would say that was kind of a main step, and then Spider-Man.
It was like a step that like these films could be like successful again, and you could do something more than just the guy in the black costume and a cape like punching people. You could do something, or you know, the guy in the long coat like doing martial arts and stuff,
characters and stuff that were good. But I mean that. Then Spider-Man came out, which was... I mean, I didn't really like it, but Spider-Man was a massive hit. It was... I mean, it took on, like, Star Wars Episode 2. I mean, it basically kind of overshadowed that in a lot box office-wise, I guess, and what people were talking about that summer. So I think that was part of the reason why I had a bit of disdain for it, because I was looking forward to Star Wars, like, oh, it's crap, it's rubbish. And then there's this Spider-Man film, which I didn't really have any interest in, and that was the big film. And it was like, really? So I was kind of a bit bitter about that, I guess. But then the year after, Daredevil wasn't very well received. There was Hulk again, the Eric Banner one. X-Men 2 was one of the better ones and was successful. I've got a lot of them behind us. What else have we got? I mean, that came in the early 2000s. Like, so we had Daredevil, Punisher with Thomas Jane. That was an 18 certificate. So that wasn't a kids' film, or it was an R-rated.
Again, very low powered. It was like a guy in a
low
trench
budget as
coat,
well.
like shooting and punching people.
Yeah, and then a couple of years later, we had the Fantastic Four. That was 2005, so that's 10 years ago this year. The first one, and then there was another one, which was a kids' film. It was a PG. Well, it was 12, I think. The second one was a PG, which is quite rare now. You get, I mean, if you look at the superhero films that I've got, you don't really see a lot of PG ones. And if they are, it's usually sort of 70s ones or Batman and Robin or whatever. So yeah, I mean, Fantastic Four was really where I would kind of lead into the next question. What were my hopes when the Iron Man trailer came out? I remember being at the cinema with you, and I kind of scoffed at like Marvel stuff at the time. And
yeah, certainly the big success with superhero stuff had still been at that point DC.
Yeah.
When you came to things like the X-Men and Spider-Man, they were all done through other studios. It was like other people had bought them out. This was like the first time we were actually seeing
Marvel Studios.
Yeah, stepping forward and trying to do their own thing.
But I don't think we really appreciated that. I don't think we
didn't really like understand that at the time.
It was just, this is a Marvel film like any other film. We didn't kind of realise the
I mean, at the time there was a bit of like, alright, so Marvel have sold all the best characters and now they're scraping the bottom of the barrel for like the B-list.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man and things.
Yeah, I mean, it's only appealed to me was Robert Downey Jr. because I'd liked him in other stuff. But again, I remember that trailer and it had that song by Filter, that Hey Man Nice Shot, and I thought that's a really cool song, but it takes more than putting a cool song in your trailer to make the film be good. And I think it was a while before I even watched it. I wanted to go see it, but I think you were just busy, and I ended up going on my own to see the Hulk film. And that was when I thought it was cool, because I didn't expect to see Robert Downey Jr. in that. I was like, whoa, this is like a shared universe. But you loaned me it, and I didn't watch it for like a year. I think it was late 2009 when I first watched it.
I'm pretty sure I must have seen it at the cinema.
You did?
Remember?
Well, no, you got it on video, but that was a thing. I was kind of pissed because I wanted to go see it at the cinema, but for whatever reason you were like working or whatever. I don't think Buff could like afford to go see it at the time. But also there was...
I don't know, I think I might have gone like during the week or something with the Topher because he was like a jobless fuck. So.
Yeah, well, I might have stole the tickets. but yeah.
No, he joking. I always ended up paying for the little bastard.
Yeah, true, yeah. Yeah, because he's conning his way, but then he wasn't just stealing. That would just be bad. But anyway, the point is, so I think I was in a situation at the time where I was sharing a house with somebody. I couldn't really watch films in like a crappy little TV in a room, so it was a long time before I could actually watch the film. And when I did, awesome, and I was kind of sold on the franchise ever since then. So that's kind of my first thoughts. I wasn't hopeful based on things like the Fantastic Four. It just really put me off. It's like, it's for children and teenagers. It's like, yeah.
But then again, stuff like Spider-Man, the X-Men to a degree, and the Fantastic Four were like an indication of like you could do bigger scale things, like not just like a guy in like a cape punching somebody, or maybe a guy with powers but he's up against just normal people. This was like a real thing of like you could have somebody with powers fighting somebody else with powers in like a big spectacle for the first time.
It'd be more than just special effects and stuff. Yeah, if it's
I think that's why. I think that paved the way for like something, because I know Iron Man was where you really started seeing something different, because it wasn't like just a kids film. It had like general appeal.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, as much as I'm not a massive fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, they did very well. Even the third film did quite well. It wasn't great, but I think that gave Marvel Studios confidence enough to do this, and they really turned it around. And they haven't done a terrible film to date. So
I mean, there were like because when they talk about things like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, they were talking because the guy who was owning those was wanting to do those quite a ways back, wasn't he?
Well, Edgar Wright, the first film the first film that got in development, as far as I know, was Ant-Man, in that they had a script and Edgar Wright had written it, but they just weren't ready to do it. So by the time he got to make that film, the cinematic universe had changed so much, he couldn't make the film he wanted to make, so he was off the project. And it was going to be more camp, and it was going to be more of a standalone film, from what I understand. So I genuinely think, I do like some of Edgar Wright's stuff, but I don't think that film now would work.
I don't think you could have really done Ant-Man without the way being prepared for it.
Yeah, because there's not enough momentum. Well, there's no momentum. People don't really... I wouldn't be interested if it was a standalone film. But there's one other thing we've overlooked, and that's Ghost Rider films as well. they were actually... I think the first Ghost Rider was before, it was 2006, wasn't it? So that was before the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So again, that was another thing that kind of put people off, maybe. I don't know. I'm surprised they did that sequel. the hell?
Yeah, especially since it seems to have nothing much to do with the original.
Yeah, it's like a soft reboot. It's not even a sequel. It's crap as well. It's not even like, you know.
But yeah, it was certainly that kind of limbo time where superhero films, yeah, they happened, but they were very iffy. You had like Ghost Rider was a bit of a flop. You had stuff like X-Men and things that had done quite well. But then you also had things like really low budget crap like Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, still not watched that. Is it Claire Rogerson that got me out for Christmas? I still haven't watched it yet.
It's bad, but it's bad in an enjoyable...
Yeah.
Absolutely awful.
That was written by David S. Goyer, the guy who wrote the Dark Knight trilogy and Blade films.
I bet he's not putting that high on his resume.
It's a selling point on the DVD. It says like from the writer of Batman Begins. It's like the hell. But yeah, I can't really think of any others. The way I tend to have my DVDs, it's like I have all the superhero ones on Blu-ray. But if it's really just crap, I just it's DVD only. I haven't upgraded.
Anyway, back to the question, because I think we're getting a bit off.
I think that's pretty much the question. I mean,
that's kind of how it started and
what we thought of it.
Yeah, I mean, certainly when it came down to it, I was not an Iron Man fan before the film.
Yeah.
In fact, you could say that about pretty much all the films. I mean, I kind of liked the Hulk going in, and I didn't have any strong feelings either way about Thor, but Captain America and Iron Man I thought were kind of crap. When they first announced Guardians of the Galaxy, I was very much... Yeah, they're seriously going to do this? I don't even know if I want to be bothered with this at all.
Yeah, I think you said you'd wait for the video, but the trailers kind of sold everybody in it, didn't they? I mean, I was the same. I wanted to go see Iron Man, but for whatever reason I didn't get to. And then I did go see Hulk. I went on my own to see that because I was that enthusiastic. Not because I liked the Hulk so much, it was more Edward Norton being in it. I was kind of intrigued. So... Yeah. But it was one of the things where again I just didn't understand quite the whole cinematic universe. And it was Marvel Studios making them. So,
I mean, they seem to get moving towards linking them fairly quickly because I don't think there was any kind of like tie into anything else in Iron Man, was it? Because that was the first thing. There was no real.
No. There was just those two films that they did, and then it was another 2 years till the next film came out, which was Iron Man 2. And then the year after that, we had Thor and Captain America, and then the year after that, Avengers, and it's just kind of spun on from there. But it's going to be, I think, as of not next year, the year after, we're going to get 3 Marvel films a year, which is pretty mental, but great, you know. So
yeah, like I said, I just think they did something different with Iron Man. They managed to make it fun and colourful and very like high-powered, not like street-level Batman type things. Which was something you just hadn't really seen. I mean, Spider-Man, yeah, it still had a lot of street-level elements, because even though you saw a lot more powers in it, it was still very much a guy in a costume, like, punching people. And kind of the X-Men, yeah, you got to see more people with powers squaring off against each other, but it was still kind of dark in its own way, because it was kind of screwed up a lot of the stuff with, like, Wolverine and things.
Yeah.
But Iron Man was kind of where it just went, you know, we can do something, we can stay true to the origins of the comic books.
Yeah.
But we can also, like, make this appeal to people.
Yeah, which it did. I mean, it turned me around. I was just saying the irony of it. I used to take the piss out of you because I used to kind of snark at, like, Marvel stuff and you kind of read the comics. I used to snark about Buffy and Joss Whedon. And of course, Disney was for kids, obviously. So, but now we've got like a film directed by Joss Whedon, like done by Disney, and it's Marvel. So, kind of how things can change. But yeah, so I think we're running out of time anyway. So, pretty much answered unless there's anything major to.
No, I can't really think of anything.
So, if you've got any more submissions for Brandix reviews, let us know, and you can follow us on loads of social media. There's a thing coming up at the end on how you can do that. Sorry, we haven't done these videos for a while. It's been fairly busy, so I just wanted to save this one for you anyway, because I thought you'd be able to kind of have a bit of input as well. So, cheers for that, and I think we had a birthday the other day. Stay there. Right, it's Anthony Scott's birthday.
No!
Can't do this.
No!
Bring it on.
No!
Anthony's got a belated birthday.
Way!
The birthday pants. Way! So
Topher's still not come to collect these.
Yeah,
so.
he's left his mark on this kind of skin. Disgusting, right? We'll leave it there. Right? Get off. Brandix reviews, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just so you know, for more news, reviews and retrospectives, you can like our page on Facebook, simply called Brand X Reviews. But as well as that, you can also subscribe to us on YouTube via this video. You can also bookmark our website, which is brandxreviews.com, which is pretty much a central hub for everything that I've just mentioned. So check that out and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.